Welcome to the Vault Excel. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy holidays. Hope you all are well. Please be aware of your faculties when you're out shopping this holiday season. Also, be aware of what you post, the goods that you have purchased. Please do not leave any boxes outside of your home of your purchases. Please have security cameras in place in case you're getting packages to help you ward off porch pirates. Happy holiday, everybody. Um, this is a sad live stream, sad information, but I'm going to go ahead and bring you the sad update pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Today is December 7th, 2025. He would have turned 17 years of age if indeed the child is alive. A nonprofit in Culvers has decided to celebrate his birthday and also bring awareness to Middle Tennessee about the case. There are people out here who are still hoping for the best and wanting to bring information, factual information to the public pertaining to the disappearance of this said child. Follow the Queen on the news breakout. I also bring similar commentary on that network, just like I do over here on YouTube. Check my community page for said updates to breaking news. Any information in this live stream is also posted to my community page in case you don't have time to watch the live. I hope you do. But also go to my community page and I bring you updates there to breaking news and stories. I've also uploaded 3 shorts in the queue pertaining to Sebastian Rogers and Mr. Donald Trump's dirty deeds pertaining to Juneteenth and MLK Day. He has decided that those said days will not be free to the public to visit national parks. Very disgraceful. But anywho, back to Sebastian Rogers. WSMV4 News is the source.
Well, this weekend will be Sebastian Rogers' 17th birthday. He's been missing from Hendersonville since 2024. On Sunday, the nonprofit We Voices of Truth is partnering with Culvers to give a free malt to people in Sebastian's honor. You can go to the stores in Hendersonville and Clarksville. You will also get a missing FBI flyer that you can pass along that says the search for him is still happening. A Culver's malt, we've learned, is one of Sebastian's favorite things.
All right. Thank you to this organization, nonprofit, and also to Culvers for hosting this free malt day in honor of Sebastian Rogers. Once again, today is his birthday, December 7th. He would turn 17. Where is this child? I do believe somebody has the information to where this child can be located. Also, there's information pertaining to photos of him floating around on social media, and law enforcement wants you to know that that information is not accurate. I missed this somehow, but I will also play that information. Is also on my community page. If you need verification and a source of that said commentary, one moment, please. Oh, I wish people would just leave well enough alone. I've never seen people so miserable. WSMD4 is also the source of this information. This was updated 11 days ago.
We join you now with a warning from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office over a teenager that's been missing now for nearly 2 years. A photo started going around yesterday, and some people thought it might be the missing teenager, Sebastian Rogers. Well, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office says the photo was not Sebastian. The teen living with autism was 15 years old when he went missing back in February of 2024. He was last reported seen in Hendersonville at his family's home. Back in June, the FBI revealed they were offering a $50,000 reward for information on his whereabouts. So we will, of course, keep you updated. Again, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office saying this photo that went around was not Sebastian Rogers.
So it is not Sebastian. I have not seen a photo. I did go in the queue a few minutes ago before going live, seeing, pictures from the restaurant when he was at the restaurant with his bio donor. But I don't know if that's the picture that they're speaking of. I'm going to type this in here and see what comes up in the YouTube queue. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vault XL. Hope you all have been enjoying my latest content, bringing you different type of content to the network. As I said, this is not a true crime channel. Let's see what we got here. 9 months ago. Please also follow Vinny Politan. He has been doing some latest information pertaining to Sebastian Rogers on Court TV. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Just people making up stuff as usual. Vinny Politan had a live Where is Missing Child Sebastian Rogers. It was uploaded 3 weeks ago. Feel free to watch that content. Now, there's a $50,000 reward for any information pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian. If you have viable, factual information, please contact TBI, FBI, or the local sheriff's department. But they don't want to hear anything about a psychic. What a psychic said, what your dream said, because basically it's disrespectful. Let's go back 3 months ago, pertaining to Seth Rogers. WKRN TV News 2 ABC is the source.
His father says he's had no answers from investigators. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry shows us what he's doing this
Hello,
week
everybody.
to change that.
I'd like to know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. He deserves to be at home. He deserves to be around somebody that loves him.
Sebastian Rogers vanished in February 2024. Search
Thank you,
efforts
Raider.
stretched across Sumner County, bringing in the TBI,
Hello,
FBI,
Amy.
and multiple local agencies. But after a little over a week, Sumner County Sheriff's Office announced they were scaling back and shifting their focus on the investigative side. Since March of last year, the Sheriff's Office hasn't held a press conference on the case. And Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian, says his calls to investigators have gone unanswered.
They won't speak to me since I sent them an email telling them about 15 things they needed to check. And if they hadn't done it, then you haven't done your job.
A year and a half later, Seth Rogers says he still has had no answers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and that's why he's out here today, demanding to know an update to his son's case.
Why are you up there in that office?
Huh.
I hope you're working on finding my son.
Uh-oh.
I'm waiting.
With a microphone
Wow.
in hand, joined by friends and supporters holding
Yes,
signs
Seth.
reading "Justice for Sebastian," Seth says he won't stop.
I don't get to take my son hunting or fishing. I don't get to play video games with him. I don't get to play cards. I don't get to watch movies. I get nothing.
Whoa,
While you're up
shut
there
your
in
mouth.
office.
We just want Sumner County to do something different to get different results.
Even retiring Sumner County District Attorney Ray Whitley says he is anxious to see this case solved.
There is more work to be done. Certainly we want to have answers at some point, and I hope
District
we
Attorney.
do.
But Seth
Sumner
says
County.
until that happens, he is not leaving. He plans to stand outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office every day this week, and for quote, as long as it takes. He's asking for the community to join him.
Do you expect your children to be safe? Because for the last year and a half, my son isn't. And he's not doing his job to get it done.
News 2 reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff for a statement. He says this is still an active investigation. The department is continuing to follow leads in coordination with the FBI and TBI. If you have any
Lord.
information regarding Sebastian Rogers' whereabouts, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838 or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Haley.
So several organizations are involved. So let me say this to people who are a little bit slow. Stop making up stuff about who's got control of the case, who's controlling the sheriff department, who's got money. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Once you have the national authority involved. It doesn't matter who you're related to. It doesn't matter who has money. It doesn't matter who has their hand in the pot. It doesn't matter who knows the sheriff deputy, the sheriff. FBI don't give a damn about that. And you should know that. If you're an adult, you should know that. The FBI, they're their own separate entity. They don't give two nickels about Clarksville, Hendersonville, Seth, the Proud Feet. They don't care. They are going to investigate the case, and whatever they find, they find. They're not getting ready to cover up anything. They're not getting ready to hide anything. They're going to call a spade a spade. So stop going on and on about the Proud Feet and who they know and who they're related to, and they got money. The FBI don't give a fuck, and TBI don't give a fuck. So if there's any hanky-panky within the sheriff's department pertaining to this case or any other case, it will come out. Now, I've said all I want to say about that. Where is this child? It is sad to be almost at the end of the year, 2025. Thank you, God, to let me see it. But somebody may not have seen 2025. Isn't that right? His name is Sebastian Rogers. He may not have seen 24. And it's a shame to be talking about a child, an autistic child at that, wondering where he is, if he's alive, if he's deceased, who has the information, who holds the key to where he can be located, found, recovered, whichsoever. It's just wrong to even be talking about a missing child. Period. Period. I'm glad Seth did what he did. Okay? I'm glad he did what he did. Went out there to let him know, hey, this is my child. Where's my child? I need some information. So I got to ask the sheriff's department, Sumner County, what is the issue between you all and Seth? Why aren't you all talking to him? I get it. It's an open active investigation, Amber Alert. You can't tell him everything. But what is the issue? His attitude, his disposition, what is it? The 15 things that Seth wanted them to check. What are those 15 things? If Seth can enlighten me, I'd love to hear them. Are you all tired of Seth emailing you, calling you? Well, it is his child. You should be glad he's calling, because then you'd be looking at him if he wasn't calling and emailing. Checkmate. I don't see the Proud Feet out there with bullhorns, microphones. Why is that? I would like this to be a celebratory live stream, but how can it be? Because there's a missing child. What is there to celebrate? Come on, keep it real. What is there to celebrate? He's missing. I felt funny putting a birthday cake up on the post, because those are things you do when people are actually alive and you can see them and hear them and they can wave back or put up a post or a live stream. But Sebastian ain't doing that. So what the hell am I celebrating? You know, I keeps it real over here. What am I celebrating? And as I've said to many people, if he's alive, then where is he? Then where is he? Excuse the notifications. Well, where is he? I'm gonna have to turn them down. Hold on one second, everybody. All righty. Can you all still hear me? Go into my listening corner for all on good. God continue to watch over Sebastian and Seth. 17th birthday, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Somebody said, boy, did they make fun of them, though, after that. But he didn't care. He got his point across. He's keeping Sebastian's name alive. Okay, thank you, Raider Nation. What is there to make fun of? See, this is what I'm talking about. This lets you know what type of society we are in. And some people are saying people are desensitized to violence, bullying. Everything's a joke. Everything is funny. What the fuck is funny about standing outside a police department with a microphone asking for answers about your child? Please enlighten me. What is so funny? It's only funny to the people who, one, don't have any empathy. They're Satan's child. And they're people who don't like Seth. That's the bottom line. And this is what you need to understand. This ain't about him. And really, it's not about the Proud Feet either. Although many of you think they are involved, I do. So some may say I'm a hypocrite. Well, call it what you want. The child is missing. And it does matter who is rallying for him. He's a child. He came here by a woman. Do I need to go into the science book for some of you? He was created in the womb by a man and a woman. The sperm met the egg. Come on with it, Queen. The sperm met the egg, and the sperm didn't know what it was doing, and the egg didn't either, because they don't have no control over their donor. Whoa, come on, preach, girl. What the sperm knew, he didn't know nothing, and the egg didn't know nothing either. They said, I'm just doing my earthly job. I'm just doing my earthly duties. I don't know nothing about this donor whose body I'm hibernating in. I ain't got nothing to do with this Katie figure or this Seth figure. It's why I keep trying to tell you, you don't choose your parents. Oh my goodness, what a luxury it would be to choose your mama and daddy. But we have not been afforded that luxury because of how God set it up with the sperm and the egg. It'd be nice if you were half formed inside of a cabbage patch and you could just roll out the dirt and look up at a list of human beings and say, hey, I'd like that to be my mommy. Hey, I'd like that one to be my daddy. No such luck. He shouldn't be out there rallying because his child shouldn't be missing. Checkmate. See, I always tell people to go to the beginning of the story because the beginning of the story is where your truth lies. I know a lot of you don't really understand that. See, I'm a woke being because I pay attention to the details and I listen and I re-listen. Everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story, not the end, not the middle. Not flashing lights and dump trucks. Stay woke. It's the beginning of the story. You see, the beginning of the story is how the child got here. As I just said, procreation. His situation with his parents. Because that's something that some of you just can't seem to understand. It's that everything has a jump off. And you lead by example. So see, the situation wasn't great from creation. Whoa, Lord have mercy, somebody. Help me. It wasn't great from creation. Don't you get it? And it ain't to say that even in the worst moments of creation, that things can't go for the good. But somebody's got to want it to be good. But somebody in the story didn't want it to be good. That's why we're here. Lord have mercy. I didn't go to church this morning, but I'm going to take you to the church. Somebody didn't want it to go good because they ain't feeling good about themselves. Sebastian ain't even really the topic. Come on, Queen, preach. This is about some dirty birds that ain't never liked themselves. And they decided to take it out on an innocent child. Autistic or not, don't matter to me. A child's a child. I don't give a damn if he's 12, if he's 10, if he's 5. You see, that's what you didn't understand, Satan. You know who I'm talking to. He's a child of God first, not yours. See, God gave him as a gift to Seth and Katie, but somebody said, no, thank you. Somebody said, no, thank you. You were carrying this gift around more like it was a burden Anybody hear me? Anybody hear me? He's a burden. That's what I see in this storyline to why we're here today. The child was a burden. That's why most cases become a case. Children become cases because they were a burden to the rightful owner. So this is why I say you have to start at the beginning of the story. This ain't about no pond. This ain't about no dump trucks, no flashlights, the restaurant. Honey. Reverse. Going back to the beginning of the story, how the child got here. Because how he got here is how we ended up listening to this as a news story. He wasn't wanted. And that's a terrible thing to say. And now somebody might disagree and say, well, Queen, you can't say that. You don't know the parents. You don't know he wasn't wanted. Well, this is what I would say to that person. Prove me wrong. Exactly, Rose. Prove Queen wrong. And I don't mind being wrong. I got a hot head sometimes, but guess what? Prove me wrong. Tell the Queen everything she done said in this live is a lie. And bring me the proof. Bring me the proof. Because everything that started with this child from birth is why we are here today. So this is why I always tell people, you are dwelling on the little things you put on top of the cake. You know, like M&M's, frosting, candles. Take all of that off. Take all of that off of the cake. Take the M&Ms and the sprinkles and the candles and the icing off of the cake and cut into the cake. And what do you have? A cake that ain't baked. Well, I be damned. It's still dough in here. Exactly. Because you're just dealing with the he said and the she said and I think and I know. No, you don't. The child was a burden. That's why we're here today. And somebody didn't want to acknowledge that he was a burden, and they took the coward's way out and got rid of this child. And as I said, I don't know how to speak positive about him turning 17. There's no sprinkles. There's no icing. There's no birthday candles. How is it? And he ain't here to blow the damn candles out. He ain't here to taste the M&Ms and the sprinkles. Celebrating what? See, I deal in realism. I don't live in a bubble. As this man said, I want to take my child hunting. I want to take my child fishing. I want to play video games. Exactly. He's sitting here with an empty fishing pole. Where the pole can't hold itself. Sitting on the dock. Come on, Queen. And yes, you can play a video game by yourself. You can play a video game with an alternate person on the other side of a TV screen. But it ain't the same when you have a partner that you like to play the video game with. The man misses his son. He wants his son back. And as I said, this is a story that we shouldn't even be talking about. Really, we shouldn't be talking about any true crime, quite frankly. And I get it. We are all flawed. We can lash out, but we're talking about a child. To me, he's a baby. And then the child has a disability that's even worse. He can't take care of himself. And you know you are a rotten egg. You would do something to a child, let alone a disabled child. What the hell is wrong with you? And I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat that this child had a great life. I know he didn't have a great life. That's why I'm up here making a video about the 17th birthday. Yeah, that's all we can do is spread information that he's missing. Because there are people in this great state of Tennessee who have no idea who Sebastian Rogers is. I keep trying to tell you all, don't nobody watch the news anymore. We are in a digital age where folks still don't have cable. They don't have landlines. All they got is cell phones. And I keep telling people, you might want to get your landline because you know anything can happen to a cell phone. Nobody's buying the newspapers. Newspapers, they can't make money. It's funny that you would still even have bookstores. But there are people who like to hold the book, flip the pages. I get it. Old habits die hard. But everything's the internet. Did you see what he said? Did you see what he said? Did you see what she said? Did you see what she said? That's the world we in. And he posted this and she posted this and she came back with a rebuttal and he came back with a rebuttal. That's all you hear all day long. Internet, internet, internet. Some of you would probably jump in the river if there was no Wi-Fi. Shut your mouth. Man down. Man down. And I get it. Because I get that way too. You know why? Because this is what's been afforded to me to get used to this Wi-Fi. But frankly, I can tell you the truth. If I wasn't doing what I do up here on YouTube, it would not mean anything to me because there was a time when I didn't know anything about Facebook, IG. I didn't have it. I didn't have internet service. I didn't care. My life still was fulfilled without internet, without the latest cell phone and on and on. I didn't care about those things. All I wanted was a comfortable place to live, nice things, nice TV, a nice stereo system. Give a damn about no Facebook, Wi-Fi, YouTube. Who the hell is YouTube? Exactly. And I keep trying to tell some of you, you better start realizing this is a dirty, wicked world we are in. We make up all of this. YouTube, IG, Facebook. We are dirty creatures. The very reason we are here on this box talking about a missing kid. Some dirty creature got rid of him. So if there was no Wi-Fi, internet, YouTube, IG, I think we'd still be talking about Sebastian Rogers. Checkmate. Happy birthday. What's happy about it? What's happy about it? Thank you, Gigi, for reminding me that today's his birthday. It's just hard for me to keep up with things these days. Because sometimes Queen's memory is short due to this thyroid disease I have. It does affect my memory. What's happy about it? Happy 16, happy 17. Okay, in a couple weeks, it's going to be 2026. And you know what that means. We'll be approaching the anniversary of him missing. This is some scary you know what. I was saying that today walking through the house, you know, when I'm making my coffee, I said, dang, I've been in this apartment almost a month. It doesn't even seem like it was just weeks ago I was telling you all I've moved. I showed you the video of the guy trying to break in my apartment weeks ago. That much time has elapsed. Do you see where I'm going? Did I wake up in this nice place and I'm like, oh my goodness, it seems like it was just yesterday I moved here. Now it's this kid's birthday. Where is the time going? That's the whole point. Time waits on no one. Just like when you're sad and depressed, you think it's never going to end. It's never going to end. Lord, help me. Jesus, help me get over this pain I'm feeling. And then you look up. It's a week. It's 3 weeks. It's a month. It's 3 months. And you're not thinking about what happened 3 months ago. Doesn't hurt as much. Of course, this situation is a bit different, but the point I'm trying to make is that time doesn't wait on us. It keeps on going and going and going. And it's sad that we are now at a birthday of a missing child, and in a few months, it'll be the anniversary of the child's disappearance. And I do find it interesting that now that I sit here and talk about it, he had a birthday in December, and then he goes missing in February of the new year. I don't know. Is that some type of coincidence? I don't know. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Anybody can help me understand where he is? And as I told people, if he's alive, then why would somebody have him? And you know he's missing. You know there's a reward. You know damn well somebody be glad to turn that boy over and get that money. We live in a really greedy society, and everybody needs money, honey. They turn him over in a heartbeat. I don't care what agreement somebody would have made with them. They'd have said, F that. I need that money. This boy is missing. They got a reward for him. We'll just drop him off somewhere and then act like we found him. But I don't think that's the situation. And I hate saying that I don't think he's alive, because he has a parent who wants him to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And the father has every right to want him to be alive. Well, that's his child. It's not my child. But it is baffling that there are 2 other people in this story who just don't seem to give a damn. And they don't want anybody talking about them on social media. Well, I'm going to say this. Act like you care, and ain't nobody got to be talking about you up here on YouTube. Act like you care for Sebastian Rogers, and ain't nobody got to make no damn videos about you. Hell wrong with you. You want to sue everybody and make a video about you. Well, act like you care. I tell anybody, you can sue Queen all you want. I ain't got nothing to give you. I ain't got nothing to give you. You want a lamp? You want a lamp? You want a pretty picture? That's all you're going to get from me. I ain't no YouTuber that make a lot of money. I'd be ashamed to even tell you what I make from these videos, baby. It ain't even enough to buy coffee with for 2 months. Come on with it, Queen, preach. And I break my neck bringing content, and I don't get no just due on any of the videos. I make more now off the shorts than I do an actual live stream. Because some of you like to listen to bullshit and lies and make-believe in live streams than listen to the truth. Well, I ain't making up nothing for content. Not now, not never. Most people would say, well, if I knew you weren't making that much money, Queen, damn, why you doing it? I don't know. The hell if I know. As they say, old habits die hard. Is there anybody in the viewing audience that would like to come on this panel and give your opinion pertaining to this child turning 17 years of age and this nonprofit in Culvers celebrating his 17th birthday today and giving out free malts at the Culvers in Hendersonville and Clarksville, Tennessee, to bring awareness to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. They're also passing out FBI flyers. I will gladly put the link in the chat if there's somebody listening who would like to give his or her opinion pertaining to this case. If not, I won't hold you all, because it ain't no celebration to me. I only do the videos because I've covered the case, but all that extra nonsense and foolery, I'll pass on. I'm not with all that flying saucers and spaceships and all that old he said, she said gossip. I don't know parts of it. I just do it out of respect to the kid because I've talked about him on this network. But I'm not with all that nonsense. Well, it is what it is, baby. I'm going to put the link in the chat in case there's a brave soul that would like to say something pertaining to Sebastian. One moment, everybody. Just a second. That's why I do the live stream, the StreamYard, in case somebody would like to say something. I tell them I can't talk all the time. I like to hear other people's opinions. I can't even see what I'm writing. Jeez, help me. All these weird letters. Jeez. I'm going to put it on my phone. It'd be easier. Welcome to the Vodex Sale, everybody. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this live stream to get the latest information pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. All information is in the YouTube queue and on my community channel if you need verification. One second. Sad day in America. Keep talking about missing children. Just doesn't make any sense to me. I'll go back and read your comments. Although I have love for my parents, sure didn't pick them and wish I could have, but not God's plan. Exactly. That is so right. You look at where it all began, sets the stage for where we are right now. Celebrate the awareness. If he's still here against odds and statistics, found and brought home, I also pray Sebastian and said, take off far away and start over. Mm-hmm. Hello, Pebbles. The link is in the chat. Hit that link, HTTPS. You're welcome to come up on the panel. You do not have to show yourself, but please be respectful to the hostess and the viewing audience in giving your opinion pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, and today being his 17th birthday, December 7th, 2025. Where is this child? Does anybody have any ideas where this child can be located? We are now 40 minutes into this live stream, bringing you the logistics pertaining to the child missing, the father rallying for the child, speaking out in front of the Sumner County Sheriff's Department 3 months ago, wanting information. He's saying he does not have a good rapport with Sumner County. Why is that? Sumner County Sheriff, can you explain to us what is the issue between you and Seth Rogers? That is his child. He has a right to inquire where the investigation is going. Where you searched, not searched. Do you feel like he's interfering with your investigation? Is that the problem? Help me understand. Let me ask this question to the sheriff. Are the Proud Feet calling you, asking you for information about Sebastian? When was the last time you talked to Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, Mr. Sheriff, TBI, FBI? When was the last time any of you all made contact with the Proudfoot's feet? When was the last time they called inquiring about the child? When was the last time you met with them? That's what I want to know. Since everybody want to focus on Seth. How about that? You know, I don't easily intimidate because I'm a child of God. I don't work for Trump. I don't work for nobody. I don't work for sheriff, the TBI, FBI. I'm my own entity. And ain't nobody intimidated by the Proud Foot. They are two human beings. That's all they are. Two lumps of clay, in my opinion. Give a damn about them folks. And they don't seem to care, in my opinion, and that's my opinion. You can't tell me what opinion I can have of somebody. You want to sue somebody for their opinion. Well, act like you care, and I would have to say, it's something going on with you too. How about that? Who the hell you mad at? See, I'm woke. I know when folks get mad about something that they should be caring and rallying for, it's some bullshit. Hell, you got an attitude about what you are portraying to the public. You need to check yourself. Hell, you can't get mad at nobody because you walking around here eating green eggs and ham every damn day, riding motorcycles, ain't giving two fucks about this kid. Who the fuck are you mad at? You ain't missing. Just like I said in one of the last live streams, Katie, you done got awfully chunky. You are chunky. Chunky monkey. You've been eating a whole lot of green eggs and ham. Shut your mouth. So you want to come for somebody, you got the right one, baby. You can't get mad at nobody but yourself. You all put yourself in this situation with Sebastian. We didn't know you or Sebastian or Seth. Hell, didn't nobody even know what the fuck Hendersonville was. Shut your mouth. You better check yourself, honey. This is what's wrong with the world. People like this always got an attitude. I just dealt with a fool just like this days ago, always blaming other people for stuff. No, you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself because you a fuck up. It's always them little dirty heathens always wanting to blame somebody for something. And then they talking about me. They always saying stuff about me. Well, they saying stuff about you because you want to stay out of shit. That's why. Hell, get it together. Why you think these two heathens don't like to talk to the public, such as the news, want to talk to YouTubers? What the fuck is wrong with you two? All these news stations, you want to come up here and blab your mouth to some people you don't know nothing about. trying to get a like and a view. That tells me everything I need to know right there, because that ain't normal. You got people with missing people. They don't even talk to YouTubers about their missing family because they already heard about what type of foolishness go on with YouTube. They don't know no YouTuber. They don't trust no YouTuber because they know they'll stab you in the back. And I've seen it up here with every case, a Cupcake, Summer Wells. Them folks just want to get close to you so they can make up some shit to put on a live stream. That's how you know how stupid you two are. The stepfather, he's the wrangler. The mama, she ain't doing nothing but sitting back like a chunky monkey looking in the background. Who does that? And that's your child. Are you gonna sit here and let your husband get up here on YouTube, make a fool out of both of you, and then got the nerve to want to take somebody to court? She's stalking us. She's stalking us. She harassing my mom and daddy. She banging on windows. She doing this. Well, I may not agree with some of the stuff that Betty's done, but the point is, you two don't act like you care. How about that? Exactly. Having hope is good. I always have hope, but can't be a constant Pollyanna and realize what it is and accept. Can't polish a turd and say it's Play-Doh analogy, but think you get it. Yeah. See, like I said, I'm an outsider looking in. I'm not Seth, and I'm definitely not them other two jelly beans. He's supposed to have hope. Them other two, they should have hope, but they don't. Because they know what a child is. Let's just keep it real. So that's why they don't say anything to a viable news entity. They're not like the missing people we've seen when the college student went missing in Nashville. The other boy out there in Texas was found in the storm drain. You saw their parents every day or every other day on the news talking about their grown-ass sons. Stay woke now. But you don't get that with these two heathens. Why is that? You got a whole kid missing. He a child. He ain't a grown-up. He didn't just run off in the wilderness and say, oh, I'm tired of life. I want to be alone. You got these other people out here on the news rallying for their children, and they ain't on YouTube wrestling with no YouTubers because they already know the game. They done heard about how people get down on YouTube. They said, now we'll stick with the news because we want the truth. We don't want to get in that foolishness. Caleb, his parents were dignified and respectful all the way to the end when they found the boy's body in that damn storm drain. That's how you handle business about your child. Now, flip side, let's mosey on down to Hendersonville. A hot butter mess. A case playing out on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. Why is that? Oh, that's because some little Teletubby decided he wants to get up here and become a rock star with his thinning hair. Baby, you ain't no Bon Jovi. Never. Definitely ain't no Sting and no John Cougar Mellencamp. Let it go. But always the mouthpiece, but you weren't there. Just like in the Summer Wells case. Don wasn't supposed to be around, but he's doing all the talking on the news. Then he brings his little country bunking ass up here to YouTube using racial slurs and making up SHIT about a little girl missing. And all his little dirty secrets came out when the sister jumped up here and she had to come tell all her business. I was like, what kind of foolishness is this? Because it shows you don't know people. That's it. And every time that Teletubby came to YouTube, he was just telling on himself and didn't even realize it. Somebody should have been telling him, Mr. Proudfoot, you need to shut up. You're telling on yourself. You're telling on you and Katie. Please stop talking. The more he talked, the more he gave us a glimpse of a life of them. And it did not look good. It don't look good. It don't sound good. And most people would tell you, if they cared anything about you, they would tell you, bruh, shut up. Leave them YouTubers alone. Because you have now created a problem to where you and your wife look bad and you look like you were mistreating this kid. Stop talking. If you got a lawyer, he would tell you, or she would tell you, please stop talking. Don't let nobody get in your inbox. Don't let nobody call you. Don't let nobody knock on your door. Don't let nobody do nothing. Ask you nothing about Sebastian. You're talking too much. And you're going to slip up and say something you can't take back. They don't care. They don't care. You want to spend all your money on lawyers and going to court suing folks when you should be out here looking for this kid. So see, you already sending a message to the universe that you never cared for the child. So why would I think you ain't the same person that would off the kid? What's the difference? It ain't no difference. It ain't no difference to me because he missing. If he was walking around, I could say, okay, they just didn't care for the kid. He living with Seth. He's in a group home, wherever the hell he is. But that ain't the case. A whole human is missing. And you've gotten up here and made a donkey's ass out yourself, you and your wife up here on YouTube. So why wouldn't I think you be the same people that off the child? People are doing it every day. Look at the stats. The FBI stats don't lie. 500, less than 500 children go missing each year, found unalive, and their parents were the culprits. How is that a lie? It's not a lie. It's not make-believe. It's not an assumption. It's from detective work. Evidence, confessions. Y'all know where that boy is. And you could put an end to this foolishness. But you're not going to put an end to this, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, because you know that if you tell where he is, you will be in handcuffs. That's how I look at it. You can't say where Sebastian Rogers is because then you'll be implicating yourself in a crime. Isn't that right? You can't say where Sebastian is. You know there was never going to be a 16th birthday, a 17th birthday, holiday, fishing, hunting, video games, laughter. You all wanted to get rid of this child and you did so. And now you're mad at the universe because you look bad. Had you kept your mouth closed, it'd be that. Now, naturally, there'll still be some people that think you did something to the child, even if you never got on YouTube. The fact that you don't talk regularly to the public, to the schools, radio broadcasts, it looks bad. It's just unheard of to have a missing person in your life and you don't talk about them to people to even bring awareness of missing people. I just never heard of such. But we know that people do this when they don't give a fuck and they're usually involved. You know, it'd be a difference if you two was on crack cocaine or fentanyl and you was out here on the streets. I could say, oh yeah, well, they on drugs. They don't care about nothing. They ain't gonna be rallying for their missing child. You ain't on drugs? Are you on drugs? You keep a job, you pay a house note. You doing better than most of us. You got a whole kid missing, but you don't say nothing about him. You too busy worrying about what the fuck Seth's doing. And running to a YouTuber. That's not normal. So if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself. You put yourself in the situation. Didn't nobody tell y'all to be mistreating that boy. To where you put fear in him, to where he won't even tell his own father that he was unhappy. He's a fucking kid. He was a kid. No happy birthday. It's no happy nothing. He's missing. What is happy about missing? God forbid he ain't even alive. Where the mom and daddy at? Katie, Christopher, where are you two at? You putting some balloons up in the sky? Happy birthday, Sebastian. You blowing confetti somewhere? No. Hell no. Just sitting there blowing smoke up people's ass. Drinking wine somewhere, getting fatter and fatter. Yeah, I said that. Getting fatter and fatter. All you're doing is putting fat on your liver. Listen to somebody like, damn, Queen, that's cold. I know. I know. I'm gonna treat you like a trick. Because that's what you've been doing up here, is playing tricks with the media and YouTube about this child that you're supposed to be caring for. He was in your custody. He was last with you. And everybody knows the rule about when the child was last seen, who they were with. That's usually the person that got him gone. Checkmate. He ain't stowed away nowhere. Because nobody would want to take the heat for if the child was found with them. You know damn well they checking records, phone data, all of that. He ain't with no family member. Prove me wrong. That's all I ask. You'd be a fool to be stowing away a 17-year-old. For what? What purpose? Only nefarious reasons you be stowing away anybody. They can't walk, they can't talk, they can't go outside, they can't play, they can't go to the picture show. Now what reasons you got to have them hid in the house? Nefarious reasons. Hit that link. You got something you want to say about this case? This child's alleged 17th birthday. Culvers nonprofit spreading awareness in Middle Tennessee pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Today, they're giving out free malts at Culvers in Hendersonville, Clarksville, Tennessee, and handing out FBI flyers. He ain't left nowhere. You know that. And the FBI knows that. We're going to leave it at that. The FBI knows. I'm not worried about Sumner County. Just like with the case with Summer Wells. It's the same to me. I ain't worried about no rinky-dink sheriff's department. I'm not here to say what the sheriff is doing in Summer's case or this case, because I don't like talking bad about the sheriff's department. All I'm going to say is I ain't worried about them. So long as TBI and the FBI involved, I'm not worried. You worry, knock yourself out. I'm not. Because I know these people don't have no dog in the race to be covering up nothing. That's why I ain't worried. You keep talking about who's related to whom and who's got the hand in the pocket of this person. Honey, that shit don't mean nothing when it's the national government. They have no reason to be worrying about the proud feet and who they know and who they related to. They know the sheriff. They know the sheriff deputy. A deputy is just that, a deputy. A deputy don't run nothing. A deputy don't run nothing. I tell you, people better wake up. A deputy don't run shit. FBI is involved. Do the math. And they have resources that Sumner County does not have, if you get my drift. Surveillance, surveillance, surveillance. DNA testing, evidence testing. They have resources that local government, state departments do not have. So I'm not worried about nothing pertaining to this case or somewhere else. Let the chips fall where they may. All I can say is, I'd stop talking to YouTube. I know that. That's exactly what I would do. I know I done hurt this kid and got rid of this kid. I'm not getting ready to be up on no damn YouTube talking to no damn YouTuber. I'd be pretending I care about this kid. And they are despicable human beings, in my opinion. And I stand on what I'm saying. Because actions are everything. You know, talk is cheap. Your mom and daddy should have taught you that when you were a child. Talk is cheap. Let them talk about you. Let them talk about you. Actions, actions, actions. Show that you care. Don't tell me you care once a year. Show me the other 364 days of the year you care about Sebastian Rogers. Checkmate. Stop sitting on your lazy ass watching Housewives. Show us you care about your child. Stop running to YouTube with lies and stories about the boy. Show us that you care for Sebastian Rogers. Checkmate. Show us you care. Stop talking about this one and that one. Cursing on audio, talking bad about somebody. Well, as I said, nobody will have anything to say about you all if you show that you care for Sebastian. That's just the bottom line. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Shameful. They won't come up here. I would never let them heathens come on my channel. You didn't come up here and talk about no damn kid. They know he ain't walk out no door. He ain't never make it home. I don't think he ever made it home. That's my opinion. I don't think he made it home. Oh, Lord. Where is this child? Anybody know where he is? Somebody? Anybody? I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't know. So I ain't got no takers. Nobody wants to hit the link and talk about this kid. I'll see if I brought up something else.
There would be some sort of breakthroughs, in these modern times with video cameras everywhere and, investigatory techniques that never existed in the past. It just seems like tracking is something that happens a lot faster than this particular case.
Yeah. By the way, folks, we're live streaming on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my Twitch, on my X, and on my Instagram today. So we're on Instagram today.
Oh, fancy.
Full vertical format. So welcome to folks watching on Instagram. And of course, the Court TV simulcast on Court TV's YouTube. So great to have everyone aboard there. Let's get right to it because I want to get to this timeline because it'll take a little bit of time to get through the timeline of what the FBI recently released in this case. So, oh, wait a minute, I gotta hit the pause button. Here we go. On February 26, 2024, right? It's actually, we're getting pretty close to 2 years now. Katie Proudfoot, his mom, went to wake up her 14-year-old son for school. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. The pair shopped at a department store, played video games at a bowling alley, and had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight sometime between 9 and 10. So my first question is, and I think you have to look at everything, everyone, and every moment of this.
Okay.
Do we have evidence that he returned home
Exactly.
in Hendersonville, Tennessee? Like, the FBI doesn't necessarily say that here. Like, what is the evidence? Now, obviously, mom can say it, right? That's evidence. But is there some corroborating piece of evidence, like video?
That is Vinnie Politan speaking. That has been my point from day one in talking about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Prove to the Queen that he made it home. I want to hear about all this other foolishness because you don't have any proof. Because as he is saying, I have not heard FBI, Sumner County, anybody say, we have proof the child made it home. So everything's a version. And it's always a version when it comes to true crime, is it not? It is what you can prove. Prove to me you went to the mall. Prove to me you went to the store. Prove to me you ate over here. Prove to me you went to the video game place. Prove. There's no proof he made it home. So all this bullshit about a knock on the door, a knock on the wall, a bump, a thump, doesn't mean anything. Do you get it? It's what you can prove. They have a garage. You pull your car in the garage. Once the garage door is down, you can't say what was going on in that garage. Mickey Mouse could have been driving the fucking car. Stay woke, everybody. Prove it. Prove she went in her house. Prove she drove home. See, you people don't think. You don't know if she even drove herself back in her own damn garage. I didn't even think about that. You got to prove that boy was in that damn truck. Well, hit the link, Rosebud. Prove he made it home to that house. Because anything thereafter the restaurant, which we got that video, thank you for whoever put that video out of him being at the restaurant, it shows that only. All that mess about the hoodie, this, they have told you that's not relevant. See how you get shit misconstrued to get rumors started. But I will admit, when I watched the video about a week or two ago of her in that restaurant, Katie was looking around. I did find that peculiar. What was she looking at and for? She looked to the left, to the right. It was peculiar. Which I guess maybe that's what started everybody thinking that somebody was there, going to be there. But that don't make no sense because, you know, there are cameras in restaurants. You'd be a fool to have somebody meet you at the restaurant, in the restaurant, outside the restaurant to get rid of a kid. That's stupid. Because if you got video now of her in the restaurant and outside, what would be the point in her getting somebody to meet her there, knowing the place has restaurants? That's something a fool would do. But we do have stupid people. But her behavior in the restaurant was strange, especially when they slow it down. It does look odd, her looking around. What the hell are you looking for, Katie? What were you looking for, Katie Proudfoot, inside of that restaurant? I'm curious.
Cell phone, you know, logging on to his computer or something. Is there something That's the first thing that I would want here. Something that confirms this first part of the timeline that Sebastian actually returned back to the home in Hendersonville.
Well, we do though have. There was the guy in the green hoodie that spoke.
Well,
To
sorry about
the
that.
mother in the parking lot, and the kid was there at that time.
That's not their home.
That's not their home, but
Exactly.
it does show that, I mean, he was heading to the car at that point in time, but it doesn't show that he was home. But I mean, so we do have him in the parking lot. We do have him in the car, or getting to the car. And then the next thing is we have to believe the mother saying that he's at the house.
Right.
Bed, and they said they parted. He went to bed, she went to her, where she was going. And then the next part of the story comes with a loud bang, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But to me, this moment right here, this is a crucial part of the timeline, because this establishes like what I would call, it's not necessarily the scene of the crime, but like, where should the focus be in terms of locations? And Jonesy, if we have evidence, like corroborating evidence that he's in the home, which can come in many different ways, then yeah, the focus is the home. But unless we have that, I think the focus of the investigation has to begin at the restaurant.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean that absolutely makes sense. You need to connect the dots on as far as where they actually traveled to before whatever incident may have taken place to cause his disappearance.
But they did go to the restaurant. They did speak to the people at the restaurant. I mean, that's how they identified the green hoodie guy.
And the video of them at the restaurant.
Right. And there is no testimony or nothing that's come out that we're aware of that says that there was any untoward behavior or there was any other problems between her and her child at the restaurant. There's nothing that says that they were fighting or that there was incidents. So it just seemed like they had a decent, a nice meal. They were playing the video games and at the bowling alley and had dinner. I mean, so they did look into the restaurant. I mean, obviously the mother is always going to be the first suspect with regards to this because she's the one who sees him last.
The last known person.
Once again, everything is about a version. It appears they're having a good time. Well, you don't know that. You don't know what was going on that Sunday. Who was having a good time? Who was happy? Nobody can tell me that Sebastian was happy on that Sunday. We don't know what was said to him. We don't know all the places he went, because once again, it's a version from Katie Proudfoot. Altercation, we don't know if they had words that day. If he was somewhere and got mad, pouted, ran off. See, we don't know. Could have got mad, pouted in a corner somewhere, had a tantrum. We don't know. We don't know what was said to him. We don't know all the people that saw him that day. We don't know all the people that were around that day. And the one thing we've learned about true crime, there are people that see things peculiar and odd, but it's just that. They don't have anybody to go run and tell, because if they don't know anything about the people, it's just, oh, I saw, something strange that day. And then you don't even think no more about it until you watch the news and hear that the person is missing. So did anybody see anything peculiar or odd with these two out in public on that Sunday? Somebody says allegedly she didn't let him play the games. Well, then what would be the purpose of taking him somewhere and he can't play?
To be with Sebastian Rogers is her mother. So everything she says needs to be corroborated from start to finish.
Exactly.
Everything.
Thank you.
But it would be very, very difficult to corroborate that he's at the house
Exactly.
Without him logging on to a computer or without having something else, or made a phone call from the house or had a cell phone at the house. But the cell phone is at the house. His cell phone's at the house. His money is at the house.
Right. They have his cell phone. Well, like, is his cell phone, did they track the route from the restaurant back home to see if it was a direct route? Did they check all the cameras? Did they check license plate readers? Did they check surveillance video from whether it's convenience stores or traffic cameras? I don't know what exists in Hendersonville, but were they able to verify that the drive home was in the appropriate amount of time that it takes to get from point A to point B? And did it take the route that you would expect them to take? And if they did, is there any sort of corroborating evidence, video, digital evidence? That's what I want to see here.
And there's not. I mean, unless they're not.
They not released it, but like, right. I think they should, instead of just giving us a narrative, right, which is kind of what the FBI is doing, say, okay, we verified it X, Y, and Z, but it's not really playing out that way. Here's the next part, and this is what you're talking about, Al. And this is the really strange part. Katie told us a little bit before 10 p.m. She heard a loud bang coming from Sebastian's room, so she yelled out to him to ask if he was okay, to which he responded that he was. Said Detective Brandon Carter from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. She told him to go to bed because they had to be up early for school the next morning. You know, boom, are you okay? All right, get ready for school. So it's a situation like that. Does that make sense?
No.
Does that make sense to you as, mom home alone with her child, who is a child with autism, but it's functioning. He's high functioning.
That's you see, these are the kind of little factoids that always send up flags to me. There's almost too much detail and then not enough detail.
Exactly.
There's a loud bang and she doesn't investigate. The child is a special needs. I mean, he's high functioning, but still has special needs. And anytime there is a bang in my house or anything along those lines, I will investigate. I mean, I may yell, just say, you okay? And then I walk in.
That's what she did. She yelled.
But then I would walk in and go, so what happened?
What was that? What was that? Like,
what happened there? Right. And then
I do that too. I do the investigation. Well, what was that noise?
Yeah.
What was that loud bang?
Yeah. The first thing you yell is like, are you okay? And then you get up and you walk in and you go, so what went on here? What happened? Did something fall? Did you break something? What's the situation?
What was that loud banging coming from your room last night, Jonesy? What was that?
You know, people, I don't know, people might take this the wrong way, right? But I don't have children. But if I have a cat who can be troublesome and can get herself in trouble. And, I'll be doing a radio show or whatever, and I'll hear some noises, something going on out there, or I'll hear a cry. And okay, she doesn't speak English, but I do ask, what are you doing out there? But I get up, I go, and I check to make sure that she hasn't gotten herself in any kind of trouble, because she is prone to that sort of thing. And, I realize some people will say, well, it's just a cat, right? But, okay, so maybe that's my point. To me, that cat means a lot. And if you say it's just a cat, but if there's no comparison, well, of course it's not. But I still check because I care.
Now, let's get to the next line here.
Once again, everything is a version. Oh, we did this, this, and this today. Oh, we went home. Oh, I heard a bang. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Would you have gotten up if you heard a bang in your house? Period. Cat, dog, child. See, everything's a version. One, you don't know he made it home. Two, you don't know this was a transaction in the house. Prove it. Because you can't prove it. That's the whole point. There's certain things you just can't prove, even if it's the truth. Hey, what were you doing last night? Oh, I was at home watching Netflix all night. Well, prove it. Well, I don't have to prove it. Do you see where I'm going? Because there's certain things you just can't prove. If there's no surveillance, no CCTV footage, you could say you were driving around for hours stargazing. Does that sound familiar? Oh, I was out looking at the stars. Oh, but your phone pings at a house where some kids turned up dead. Ding, ding, ding. It's what you can prove. And if a person is involved in the disappearance of another human, they'll tell you anything. Oh, I was out stargazing. Oh, we were riding around. We took a day drive. We went to Nashville for the day. We ate at McDonald's. We did this. We did that. You don't know because you don't know what's the truth. You got to wait to see if somebody comes back with CCTV footage to say, oh, they were over here at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. But you have no proof where they went after the restaurant. If she took him home. Proof she was driving her truck home into the garage. Show proof of life. They're after the restaurant. You can't. But as long as they got that garage, you got to prove that she was in the truck and he was in the truck and it went in the garage. He got out of the truck. He went in the house. Got to prove it. Hit that link. Make this live count. Give your opinion pertaining to the said information during this live stream. Today, the child turned 17 years of age. Do you believe the child is even alive? I guess that's the next live stream I should do. Do you believe the child is even alive? Lord have mercy, help us. This information you're listening to is Vinny Politan and his guests. So it's commercial. Sorry about that. What do you say? Should, especially if it's just you and your special needs kids. Well, some people don't check. And if you're lying, it ain't nothing to go check. Especially he didn't make it home.
Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work, and the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. Now, that's something through phone records that could obviously be corroborated, a 2-hour conversation. But do you find a 2-hour conversation with your spouse who is away suspicious? Does anyone find that suspicious? I mean, if in fact the records show a 2-hour conversation?
I would think it depends, really. I mean, when we were away, and I would call Gina, there were very brief conversations because we were busy, and
You're talking about CrimeCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to CrimeCon, I would check in like when I go back to the room, but they were very brief. It was like, we're having a great time, blah blah blah. But I would imagine it would depend. I mean, has she elaborated on what they spoke about for 2 hours?
No.
Yeah. Well, I think there's been some talk about that, but I think, but we don't know. We don't know what they spoke about. So the question is a 2-hour conversation.
Or that they even spoke.
The night before, or.
Going to ask all these questions on a poll after this live pertaining to this information. Did the child make it home? Number 1. The conversation of a thud in the house. Number 2. The conversation with Chris for 2 hours. Number 3. Do you believe any of these versions? Feel free to put it in this chat and also on the polls after this live stream. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL.
Around the time that a teenager goes missing, is that in and of itself suspicious?
Well, I will tell you this. I think the loud bang thing is the most suspicious thing of all.
That's alleged before the conversation.
And that's before the conversation. But the problem I have with that, it's one of those things that if you're getting involved in it, I mean, it's almost like Ola Man. Okay, there's just a weird detail that kind of comes in out of the blue that would not ordinarily be something you'd be bringing up in a conversation. And the loud bang, and then the fact that she didn't investigate it. I mean, she's on the phone with her husband for 2 hours. Does she mention the loud bang? And if she does he say, well, did you just go take a look and see what the hell's going on there? I mean, it's a 2-hour.
What is that kid up to? What is that teenager up to? Kind of like.
And that a 2-hour conversation. I'm certainly establishes an alibi, okay, but it is a little out of the ordinary. I think if under the circumstances, I agree with with Jonesy, if you're going to be checking in, you're not checking in and having a 2-hour conversation unless you're going over your tax returns, and or something along those lines. But that.
Going over your tax returns.
Yeah, well, what else? Why would you be on the phone for 2 hours with anybody? Okay.
Hey, babe, how you doing? Yeah. I'm
Well,
getting ready.
that's not like the conversations we have been, but I mean, those are all private. And
I'm going to interject here. Now, there are people who talk. There are men who talk. We know that Christopher is a talker because he loves YouTube. So I could see them talking for 2 hours, her listening, but we don't know what's the truth. But I can see Christopher as a talker. I will say that. So I don't know if she talked to him for 2 hours, at what point she talked to him for 2 hours or 1 hour or 20 minutes. But I do see Christopher as a chatter because he likes to chat on YouTube.
I think 2 hours though, and obviously that's something that can be corroborated. So you're not gonna deny a 2-hour conversation, right? Because if you did something nefarious, right? But if something happened, I could see a 2-hour conversation if something horrific happened.
Wow.
To Sebastian inside the
Interesting.
house, whether it's accidental or whatever happened. Like if something happened to him, I could see a 2-hour conversation about what to do.
Interesting.
okay, that makes sense, and that is something along those lines. It also could be a 2-hour conversation because they're fooling around on the phone and
2 hours on the phone. True. Not true. 2 hours to talk about what happened to Sebastian Rogers. 2 hours to put in a plan. Say what? Do you believe she talked to Christopher for 2 hours? And if so, what were they talking about? As I said, he's a chatter. Some men do talk to their wives for a while. They're not home. He allegedly was living or staying somewhere else. So you don't really know what's the truth. But we do know that he's a chatter. And there are some men who do talk to their wives. It ain't just hi, goodbye, how you doing, what you eat. They talk. I'm not going to judge nobody for talking to their spouse, considering he allegedly wasn't there that weekend. Stay woke, everybody.
maybe not necessarily her paying attention to what might be happening with.
Right. So it is two things, right? So I like that point, Al. On the one hand, like you could be talking about something that happened, or you are distracted, you're on the phone, something is happening, and you're oblivious to it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, a dirty phone conversation that you're getting.
Oh God.
It happens. I could.
Oh, Chris, I miss you so much. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy, I wish you were here. Oh, God, give me a break. But anywho, talking on the phone, distracted, and something was going on in the house. Do you believe that? Lord have mercy, all these options. Option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, all lies. How about that? Yes. Ellie has not confirmed any of this. They have not come out and said that these are absolutes. They actually haven't said anything about any of the information that was given to them. Exactly. That's why I told everybody you have to pay attention to the details. Everything is a version when it comes to a person missing and or dead. What somebody said, where somebody went, until otherwise proven or disproved. So we have no information. Now, this is not to say that Ellie doesn't have information pertaining to what she said happened that day with her son and thereafter. And I know that somebody in that neighborhood had some CCTV footage. And that's where she and her husband are probably effed up, because other people have doorbell cameras on their homes to see people coming, going, walking down the street, riding a bicycle, so on and so forth. So if she's off by 30 minutes, 40 minutes in her timeline, she is screwed. If he brought his butt over to the house, he's screwed. Do you see where I'm going? Because that's the one thing people don't bank on, are cameras. You are seen in a multitude of places with cameras. They are on street lamps, highways, trail cams. They're everywhere. So when you are exacting a crime, you better make sure you have dotted all your I's and crossed all of your T's.
Conceivably get that for 2 hours, but I mean,
2 hours?
well, that and the tax returns.
I can go 2 hours with that.
Only 2 times I get that.
Well,
that extra conversation that
Pebbles,
long.
okay.
Listen, I'm wearing nothing but a W-2.
Well, I'm W3, remember. But you know, like that's conceivably a situation. I mean, they're apart, and there may be something going on along those lines, and then you're not paying attention to what's going on with the child. So,
Okay. Katie called her. All right. The next morning was the beginning of what would become a massive search effort for Sebastian. So let's continue the next moment here on this timeline.
A brief intermission. Pebbles has a good point. She said she was studying and falling asleep allegedly. Well, she could have been studying and still talking to her little Teletubby. Who's to say? After the deed was done, making sure she dotted all her I's and crossed all her T's and getting rid of her child.
Yeah, so this is a call the following morning. Told him she couldn't find Sebastian, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere in the house, said Carter. Katie got into her car, drove around the neighborhood, and to Sebastian's school, which was less than a mile from their house, searching for Sebastian before returning home. During this time, her husband called the local emergency communication center to report Sebastian is missing. Okay, in the way that breaks down, right? Sebastian's missing. Chris, I can't find Sebastian. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go look for him. I'm going to drive to the school. Boom. He calls, I guess, 911 or the emergency communication lines in Hendersonville because he is purportedly out of town at this moment.
Right.
Does that all make sense to everyone here?
Yes and no.
Well, give me the yes first, give me the no.
If I can make one comment before that, because I'm seeing comments on here, 2 hours of dirty talk. Obviously, you people don't have a really good imagination, because I think you'll probably go 2 hours on that.
And they'll prove it after the show.
That's
And
right.
by the way, that may be one of the prizes. Special is 2 hours on the phone with Al.
Murray Hill 83939. That's right. Murray Hill 83939.
You get to listen to Al for 2 hours on the phone.
That's right. Well, with a good
That would be a great prize. And that doesn't have to be dirty talk, but a 2-hour conversation with Al. And by the way, in the 2-hour conversation, you would get in about 6 to 10 words.
I'd like to know if the Murray Hill number you just gave out was from I Love Lucy. I had a Murray Hill number once on 39th in Lexington.
Oh, really? No, it wasn't. I was just making up that. Murray Hill was from I Love Lucy, but the numbers.
Yeah. What people don't realize, to go on a tangent, a lot of younger people don't realize that a lot of times the first couple of digits of your phone represented like letters. Like in Kearney, it was Wyman 199, and that somehow represented West Hudson. Murray Hill is a section of Manhattan that I Love Lucy supposedly lived in, but when they gave their address, it was actually in the East River. There was no 600 block.
And by the way, Murray Hill was where the original Court TV was.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah. So years before I worked for Court TV, I lived on that block. I didn't really live there, but I had a lady who did, so I might as well have. Yeah, we had some conversations. Sometimes they went for quite a while.
So, all right. So going back on the phone call. All right. So you can't find him. You call your husband and you say, "Listen, I can't find him. I'm going to go look."
Yeah.
We went to school. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense to me.
And then the father calls the emergency communication center to report him missing. That might be a little premature. I would have probably said, you go look, see if he's at the school or see if he's walking to school or what the situation is, and then let me know. And then I would have made a call at that point. I don't know if simultaneously, and we're not sure what the timing was.
But you have to look at it two ways. No, they say during this time, so Katie gets in the car and starts searching before returning home. During this time, the husband called the local. So he's calling as she's searching. She has not completed her search.
And I find that to be a little premature.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me because I would have, what
does that mean? It's premature. What does that tell you? Could it? And I think the logical place to go after that, if you believe it's premature, someone who is trying to set up a scenario might call 911 a little early. But then I want to be fair because a lot of times we go after people for not calling 911. Like, why did they call 911? I don't want it to be one of those double-sided. I'm just thinking the way I would do it. And I think before we called 911, but I don't have a child with autism. So it's a different place.
But it's a last resort. I would think that 911 would be the last resort. I mean, conceivably, the kid could have been going to school. Okay, that makes sense.
It was early, though. It was super early.
Yeah, but still, you know what? I mean, with the autism, maybe he was focused on, an assignment or something he was going to be doing, and he got up and he wanted to get to school. He didn't want to sit in the house anymore, and he wanted to go to school. I don't think that is inconceivable.
Well, that's why I say yes and no, because it depends on your degree of concern at the time and
Exactly.
what history has shown you in your relationship with said child. Has this ever happened before? And if it has, was it resolved quite quickly and it turned out to be something innocent? So I don't necessarily think calling 911 is a red flag or anything. It really, it depends on the situation. Like, how concerned are you about this child? How much danger can he be in if he's alone and unsupervised?
I mean, I think that I would have looked for him. If he's not found, then I'm going to call 911. But I also would have thought that the mother, when she didn't find him, would have been the one to call 911. So, I mean, is that a red flag? I don't necessarily think so, but I think.
Why didn't Katie call 911 herself? Let Christopher tell it they had to call to Egypt and New York to get through to emergency services. Well, if you knew that, then your wife should know that. She has a child in her custody. She should know how the emergency services work in that area. So why didn't she call? Stay woke, everybody. I can't find him anywhere. Okay, I'll call for you. I'll call. I'm the big bad wolf. I know everybody in town. My friend's a deputy, blah, 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 blah. Katie, why didn't you call? You're the only one there. Your child is missing. Why didn't you call 911? We'll go in another room, Rosebud. Go in another room, honey. Hit that link if you have an opinion pertaining to Sebastian Rogers turning 17 years of age today. Culvers restaurant in Hendersonville and Clarksville, Tennessee is giving away. They are giving away free malts today in honor of the child's birthday and bringing awareness to this case of a missing child. The link is in the chat. Hit that HTTPS before I check out of here if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the disappearance of this child, if he's alive, deceased, his father, Seth, the other parents, their role they're playing and not playing in this case. Seth not getting any answers from law enforcement. Why are they not talking to him? Why are they not answering his questions? What is going on with the rapport between Seth and these people? What is the rapport between law enforcement and the Proud Feets? Are they calling, talking? What is the truth? Because see, all I'm hearing is he said and she said. and nothing from law enforcement to say this person is cooperating, this person is not. We last contacted the mother, the father, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. That's what I'm about.
It's just kind of odd, in the theory that you're going forward with, Vinny, with regards to the fact that, it just seems very convenient. I can understand where that might send up a little concern if I were the eye.
It's a quick draw, like boom. But again, child with autism, potentially different scenario. You might be much more concerned, much more quickly. I will tell you though, and I think I've said this story, that one time that we were at an event and Max went missing for just a moment. Boom! I jumped up on top of a picnic table because it was an event, outside at a park, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, got everyone's attention to look for him, and we found him very quickly. He had snuck around the corner of the tennis courts. I don't know why, quirky kid, but I know the panic sets in very quickly. So I could understand that. And if it's a child with autism, maybe that gets amplified much more. So again, the point of what we're talking about today is looking at the timeline that the FBI has put together and placed into the public forum. Figure out where the holes are and try to draw from it what you can from what they know, what they've been able to establish as their working timeline, and what questions they have, and what it really means. And I think all this stuff is fair game. It's not convicting anyone. It's not accusing anyone. It's about where should the investigation go, and what should raise suspicion for investigators, and what should confirm, okay, we got it, let's move on to the next potential road we can go down in all of this. So here's an interesting note that they wrote here. In the early days of the search, it seemed Sebastian vanished without a trace. I mean, has that ever changed?
No, it hasn't. Well, the implication of that sentence, and I'm sure, like everything is written very carefully, is that maybe something has changed in the early days of the search.
Right.
Just to preface it by saying that seems to imply that something has changed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anything has changed. We'll continue to walk through the timeline, but I just want to let everyone know that.
All right, everybody. That's Vinny Politan, his guest. Feel free to check out that content. It was uploaded 3 weeks ago. I'm going to play the latest update pertaining to the organization and Culvers restaurant, and then I'm going to check out of here. Once again, WSMV says a photo circulating online pertaining to Sebastian Rogers is not him. So if you see this photo, it has been verified to not be Sebastian Rogers. I have not seen it to my knowledge, so I don't know anything about it. My movie for this weekend today is Blackwater Lane. It's free on Sci-Fi Network. Feel free to check it out. It's a very interesting thriller of a woman passing someone on the side of the road on her way home. A woman was in a vehicle, and later she finds out that that woman was dead inside of a car. And a lot of crazy things starts happening to this woman after seeing this lady on the side of the road. Check it out. I want to hear your opinion about this movie. It's a very good movie called Blackwater Lane. You can go to my community page to check out the trailer. And then I'm going to go back up here to this information that I played about Sebastian. 1 second, everybody. Oh, you're so welcome, Rosebud. Anytime. Wish you could have joined me, honey. A lot of people get scared coming on the live stream.
17th birthday. He's been missing from Hendersonville since 2024. On Sunday, the nonprofit We Voices of Truth is partnering with Culvers to give a free malt to people in Sebastian's honor. You can go to the stores in Hendersonville and Clarksville. You will also get a missing FBI flyer that you can pass along that says the search for him is still happening. A Culvers
Hey,
malt,
wow,
we learned, is one of Sebastian's favorite things.
We Voices of Truth. I'm gonna write that down so I can keep a memory. Like to keep notes of everything. We Voices of Truth. Don't know anything about this organization, but they partnered with Culvers. It's a favorite place of Sebastian. You're getting free malts today in Hendersonville and Clarksville, Tennessee, if you're in that area, Middle Tennessee. Little ways from the Queen. These places sit outside of Nashville. I'm about 3 hours from Nashville, Tennessee. I live in East Tennessee. I'm in Knoxville, if any of you are familiar with this area. All right. I want to thank this organization and Culvers for acknowledging Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, handing out the flyers, and also giving free malts to the community. Thank you very much. Thank you for your notable deed to get awareness out about this child. Thank you, honey, for the information. This is a sad story, once again, as I said, of a child missing. This is a story that no one should even be talking about. That's my public opinion. I should not be talking about a child missing, no matter what the age is. Frankly, I shouldn't be talking about anyone missing. Keep thou hands to thyself. How about that? I do not believe that the child is alive. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Naturally, the father wants his child to be alive because that's his child. Sebastian is not my child. So my viewpoint will be different than his. Do you understand? Because I'm not in his shoes. I don't know what he knows, don't know about the investigation pertaining to his child. I don't know everything that was going on in the child's life. I would assume he knows more, has learned more pertaining to CPS reports. He said, she said, different things from other people. See, I'm not there. I'm not in the story. So I don't know what he knows. But what I do know is that the child is missing. He has not been found, has not been recovered. There's no proof of life, no proof of death that I know of. Don't know what law enforcement knows. FBI, TBI, Sumner County Sheriff's Department are all investigating this case. I'm leaning on the higher ups to do an accurate investigation pertaining to this child. I do believe people are working on the case, so I'm not going to throw any daggers at anybody. Once again, I'm not in Seth's shoes to know why he doesn't have a good rapport with the local sheriff's department, because that's the point. I'm not him. I don't know what he's saying to these people, doing, and naturally, they're not going to share everything with you. You may feel like you're on the outs with these people because they're not sharing. They can't share. That's just the way it is. They can't share. And maybe Seth can't understand that. They can't share. But once again, I'm not in his shoes either. I don't have a missing child. So my viewpoint is going to be different than his because I'm not in his shoes. I empathize with what he's going through. I feel bad for him. As for the other two participants, I don't feel anything for them. They are children of God as well, but they're not my child. They do not seem to care about this child. They don't care about any birthdays. I do believe they are behind the disappearance of this said child. It does not matter to me which one orchestrated the crime. They are both in cahoots, in my opinion. Possibly others involved, could be, I don't know, but I'm talking about these two head knockers. I don't trust them. I don't care for them as people. I do believe they have knowledge to where this child could be found, recovered, whichsoever. I don't believe he's in a group home because naturally that would be fraud. I don't believe he's staying with anyone because the average person by now would have gotten involved to get him back to the rightful owner. And it may take time for Seth to come to grips that his child is possibly not alive. That is something that most people don't want to accept, that their child is possibly deceased. I get that. But we can't make him see that because frankly, that's not our job. Because we are outsiders looking in. But you cannot make somebody say their child is deceased. You can't. He has to come to terms with accepting that fate, if indeed it is true, or down the road, if we look up, it's 2 or 3 years from now, the child has not been found, it will be on his terms to say, okay, I think my child is not alive. Prayers for Seth Rogers, his immediate family, and those who are searching, advocating for the child, truthfully and factually advocating. I always like to be specific in what I say. Truthfully and factually advocating for Sebastian Rogers. No fakers, no fraudulent people. And that means just what I'm saying. People who are only out to boost themselves and get attention to themselves. Because you see a lot of people doing this in true crime. And I'm going to acknowledge that too before I check out of here. A lot of you need to sit down somewhere. Stop getting involved in other people's lives pertaining to death, mayhem, and missing persons. Because you're only making the situation worse because you are not there for the right reasons. You're there to advocate yourself, a Facebook group, a fake organization, a YouTube channel, TikTok. Stop it. Because it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the person missing, dead. It's disrespectful to the universe. It's disrespectful to the family. You're showing you don't care about yourself. Because all the cases that I have involved myself in directly pertaining to missing persons here in Knoxville, I was genuine in reaching out to the family to say, how can I help get the word out about your missing person? And I was very delicate in my comments, my commentary, due to the fact that I have to live here in Knoxville around these people, and you do not know who knows anybody when you start speaking on things that you don't know is the truth. So as I brought commentary pertaining to Dashina Kyle, I was very delicate in my commentary there. Mr. Chad Carr, who is still missing out of East Tennessee, I was delicate in my conversations because I know people who personally know these people. So I have to be careful in how I bring you the content. But see, another YouTuber can just get up here and get wilded out and say anything and repeat he said, she said gossip. Yeah, you can do that because you live somewhere else. And that's why I tell you, you have to be careful of the content you bring pertaining to people. But I stand on everything I said in this live. Everything. And I mean every damn word. The bio donor and her husband do not appear to care for the child, which would lead me to believe they are the culprits to the child disappearing. That is my opinion. I don't think the child is alive. If he is alive, that would be great. But if he is alive, then where is he? And why isn't he with the bio donor and her husband? Checkmate. I don't know exactly what was going on in his house, but I can assume it was not good. The reason why he is not here, and we are celebrating a alleged birthday, and he's not here to celebrate 17 years of life. This is no happy day. There's no birthday cake, no streamers, no video games, no fishing, no hunting, no nothing. And it's a travesty because he deserves to live and have a happy life just like you, me, and anyone else. And it appears to me that some other people have gone on with their lives because that's how they were living when the child was in their custody. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Follow my content on my channel, my community page. Check out the shorts I uploaded earlier. Prayers for truthful, factual information pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Today, he turned 17 years of age. If you have any information pertaining to the disappearance of this boy child, please contact Sumner County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and or the FBI. And do not call these people with any type of fraudulent gossip, he said, she said. Only factual information. This is a child, he is missing. And there are people who are advocating and trying to help get answers. Please do not waste their time with petty selfishness, because he is a child of God. And the truth needs to be revealed about what happened to him. Prayers for Seth Rogers. Prayers for all missing children, children who were recovered deceased. Prayers for all missing persons, their family members, those who are still grieving, those who went missing and were found deceased. And naturally, if you have any information to any of those missing persons, please contact your local police department, sheriff's departments, and local government to give information. I wish I could wish this child a happy birthday, but I cannot. I can only acknowledge if indeed he's alive and can be 17 years of age. But there's no happy birthday to Seth or his child. There's no happy birthday. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Happy holidays, everybody. Yes, through Christ, everything is possible. Amen.